Welcome to our channel Learn with MJ. Today we are discussing the social conditions in which the sociology emerged. Sociology emerged as a distinct science in 19th century Europe. Europe then was passing through a period of immense changes which had set in with the French and Industrial Revolution. Indeed, sociology can be considered above all a science of the new industrial society. But before we go on to describe the salient points of French Revolution and Industrial Revolution, we will explain to you the commercial revolution and the scientific revolution which took place in Europe between the 14th century and the 18th century. It was during these two revolutions in Europe, covered by what is popularly known as the Renaissance period, when there took place a revival of art, literature, music, sculpture, science, and so on. What is commercial revolution? It refers to a series of events between 1450 to approximately 1800. These events signal to a shift from largely subsistence and stagnant economy of medieval Europe to a more dynamic and worldwide system. The revolution in the sense signified the expansion of trade and commerce that took place from the 15th century onwards. It was of such a large scale and organized manner that we call it a revolution. This expansion was as a result of the initiative taken by certain European countries to develop and consolidate their economic and political power. These countries were Portugal, Spain, Holland, and England. Let us now study some of the important aspects of the commercial revolution, namely overseas discoveries and conquests. Europe's trade with the Oriental or Eastern countries like India and China was transacted by land route. The northern Italian cities of Venice and Genoa were the major centers of trade. The result of the Italian monopoly was that the prices of goods like spices and silks imported from the east were extremely high. Portugal and Spain therefore wanted to discover a route to the Orient that would be independent of Italian control. Thus began a shift from land route to sea route. The Portuguese were the pioneers in adventurous navigation and exploration. You probably know of the historic voyage of Vasco da Gama, who in 1498 landed on the Indian coast after having sailed around the southern tip of Africa. Christopher Columbus, an Italian under the patronage of the Spanish king and queen, set sail for India. However, he landed on the shores of North America. This accidental discovery of America was to prove very beneficial to Spain. It laid the foundation of what was to become a Spanish empire in America. Britain, France and Holland soon followed Spain and Portugal. The parts of India and Africa, Malacca, the Spice Island, West Indies and South America came under the economic control of Spain, Portugal, England, France and Holland. Commerce expanded into a world enterprise. The monopoly of the Italian cities was destroyed. European markets were flooded with new commodities, spices and textiles from the east, tobacco from North America, cocoa, chocolate and quinine from South America, ivory and above all human slaves from Africa. With the discovery of Americas, the range of trade widened. Formerly the items sought for were spices and cloth. Later gold and silver were added to the list. As the commercial revolution progressed, the position of Portugal and Spain declined. England, Holland and France came to dominate Europe and the world. Next is the expansion of banking. One of the important features of commercial revolution was the growth of banking. Credit facilities were expanded, making it easy for merchants all over Europe to do business. The check was invented in the 18th century. Paper money came to replace gold and silver coins. Growth of companies. As trade and commerce expanded, new kinds of business organizations had to be devised to cope with this growth. Regulated companies arose in the 16th century. These were associations of merchants who bonded together to cooperate for a common venture. Joint-stock companies emerged in the 17th century, and this set up shares of capital were distributed to a large number of investors. Some of these were also chartered companies. Their governments gave them a charter or a contract which guaranteed them a monopoly of the trade in a particular region. Examples of these companies include the British East India Company and the Dutch East India Company. Next is the rise of a new class. One of the most distinctive characteristics of this period was the rise of the middle class to economic power. By the end of the 17th century, the middle class had become an influential group in nearly every Western Europe country. It included merchants, bankers, ship owners, and investors. Their power at this stage was mainly economic. We shall see how they became politically powerful in the 19th century. That is, the Europeanization of the world. By this term, we mean the transplanting of European manners and culture in other societies. The activities of traders, missionaries and conquerors saw the Europeanization of the Americas. Later, with the strengthening of colonialism, this process took root in Asia and Africa as well. This period saw the strengthening of monarchy, the decline of the church, and the rise of the middle class. It marked the beginning of the process of Europeanization, which was to reach a peak with colonialism. Thus, Europe chartered new areas for economic expansion. The whole world had become Europe's oyster. Now let us examine the revolution in science. The scientific revolution and the Renaissance period. In this section, we shall examine the changes and developments that took place in a very significant area of human activity, science. So, Europe produced a scientific revolution in the Renaissance period of 14th to 16th century AD. The impact of this scientific revolution was crucial not just in changing material life, but also people's ideas about nature and society. The history of science does not mean a list of dates and events to be memorized. It is a story. Social functions of sciences. Sciences does not develop independent of society, rather, it develops in response to human needs. Example, various vaccines were not developed just out of the blue, but out of the necessity to cure diseases. Apart from influencing the physical or material life of society, science is intimately connected with ideas. The general intellectual atmosphere existing in society influences the development of science. Similarly, new developments in science can change the attitudes and beliefs in other areas as well. It is important to keep this fact in mind. The emergence of sociology in Europe owes a great deal to the ideas and discoveries contributed by the science. Science in the medieval period. As we know, medieval society was characterized by the feudal system. The church was the epicenter of power, authority and learning. Learning was mostly of the religious variety. Nothing could challenge the dogmas or rigid beliefs of the church. New daring ideas could not flower in such an atmosphere. Thus, the development of science was restricted mainly to improvements in techniques of production. The Renaissance period. The Renaissance period saw the beginning of the scientific revolution. It marked an area of description and criticism in the field of science. It was a clear break from the past, a challenge to old authority. Some of the major developments in art and science of this period are visual art, that is, literature and science all flourished. A scientific approach to nature and the human body became prevalent. We can see this in the paintings of that period, which explored the smallest details of nature and the human body. Medicine. Dissection of the human body became acceptable. Doctors and physiologists directly observed how the human body was constructed. The fields of anatomy, physiology and pathology thus benefited greatly. Chemistry. A general theory of chemistry was developed. Chemical processes like oxidation, reduction, distillation, amalgamation, etc. were also studied. Navigation and astronomy. Vasco da Gama reached the Indian shores in 1498. Columbus discovered America in 1492. Remember, this was the era of expansion of trade and the beginning of colonialism. A strong interest in astronomy, important for successful navigation, also grew. The Copernican Revolution. The first major break from the entire system of ancient thought came with the work of the Dutchman Nicolaas Copernicus. It was generally believed that the earth was fixed or stationary and the sun and other heavenly bodies moved around it. This is known as geocentric theory. Copernicus, however, thought otherwise. With the help of detailed explanations, he demonstrated that the earth moved around a fixed sun. This is a heliocentric theory. The work of Copernicus is considered revolutionary because it drastically altered patterns of thought about the universe. Human being was not at the center of the universe but a small part of a vast system. In a nutshell, science in the Renaissance period was marked by a new attitude towards man and nature. Natural objects became the subject of close observation and experiment. The Copernican revolution shattered the very foundations on which the old world rested. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel for more videos.